Now, just think about how difficult this month is going to be. Electricity prices are going up. All our rates and services are going to be going up as a result of that. So our wallets are stretched, and they're going to get stretched even more. South Africans now paying nearly 5% more for the most basic food items. That's according to the latest Household Affordability Index. It's compiled by the Pietermaritzburg Economic Justice and Dignity Group. The survey tracking food prices in over 70 supermarkets around the country. Well, let's unpack this now. Mervyn Abrahams from that organisation, the Pietermaritzburg Economic Justice and Dignity Group. He's speaking to us from Durban this morning. Good morning to you, Mervyn. As I said, electricity prices are going up as well. That's going to affect the cost of production, which is going to affect the cost of food. And now already we are here. The most basic items, Mervyn, good morning, are already costing us a lot more, aren't they?
Good morning, Gareth, and good morning to all your viewers. Yes, exactly as you've said. Our index, our Household Affordability Index, shows that the price of 43 very basic foods have increased over the past 7 months by 183 rand, or 4.8%. Now that is before the fuel price increase kicked in and before the electricity prices kicked in. And the impact of fuel and electricity as a major input cost into food production will likely increase the price of this basket of food as we go forward over the next few months. And also we need to remember that most of South Africa's staple foods, so foods such as maize meal, as samp, as potatoes, all of these need to be cooked. So electricity is not only an input cost in production, it is also a necessary cost in cooking food. And so the situation for low-income households will be really very bad going forward over the next few months.
Mervyn, I just want viewers to understand just kind of the LSM, the income groups that we're talking about. When we say food prices are increasing by 5%, we're talking about a very small minority that won't feel the effect of that. The majority of our population, when we say that the price of maize is going up, when we say the price of eggs is going up, the price of bread is going up, when someone is only earning 200 or 300 rand a week, when those prices start going up at the rate that they are, we are literally, aren't we, talking about not being able to feed your family. That's the level we're talking about, aren't we?
Exactly, Gareth. So if we want to look at one level, we know that at least about between 50 and 60% of South African workers earn at the level of the national minimum wage. And the national minimum wage for the month of for the month of March was in the region of 3,800 rand. So less than 4,000 rand in the month of March, while the cost of our food basket is at 4,039 rand and 56 cents. So we are effectively, we can deduce therefore that households who earn or have an income at the level of the national minimum wage will not be able to afford to buy our basket of food, because remember, the three main household expenditures for low-income households are transport, electricity and food. And so when the food basket is in excess of the national minimum wage, then it means that households have one of two options. They cut back on the amount of food they eat, or they cut back on the level of the nutritional value of the food they purchase.
Mervyn, and I can't imagine how a family is going to even make that decision. So let's take the power away or the control away from families doing that. I've got about 30 seconds left with you. Is there anything that government can do to try and keep these prices down, or is this the world we live in right now?
We're going to have to try and find ways of lowering the input costs into production of food, and we're going to have to begin to look more at the level of transparency in the value chain of food to see where these increases are actually coming from. But an increase in the fuel levy, for instance, has a direct impact on the cost of food going forward. And so our advice to government is to be extremely cautious about increasing fuel levies.
Mervyn Abrahams, it's always a pleasure speaking to you as well, helping us make sense of just what it's going to cost for basic foodstuffs as well. If you're earning basic income, having these kind of increases, Marcel, is going to be exponential, because electricity, in case you missed the story, going to be Eskom increasing electricity prices by 15%.